What's up, everyone? Kendrick, this is episode 5, Spro Go. Awesome, let's jump into the coffee for this week. I had a beautiful Ethiopian Gegessa from Dune, located in Santa Barbara, California. Dune is amazing. Their team is super friendly, and they make delicious coffee. They roast their own coffee, and I'm a little bit biased because my buddy Kay, who's the wholesale and lead educator there, works there. Super sweet guy. And the amount of care that they just put into their coffee and to service is phenomenal. So if you're ever in Santa Barbara, you need amazing coffee, go hit up Dune. You won't be disappointed. Now, this Ethiopia is super delicious, and to kind of like touch on why I love Dune so much, especially this coffee, is because, I guess to kind of take a few steps back, whenever you buy a bag of coffee, a lot of times from a specialty shop, you'll see flavor notes, and I have kind of mixed feelings about flavor notes. I love that coffee roasters will provide notes to kind of look for when you brew your coffee at home. I would say over 70% of the time, I don't really taste the notes that they list. And could it be because I'm not brewing it the way that they're tasting it or brewing it when they're like cupping? Maybe. It could also just be that our palates aren't calibrated, or it could just be that they're throwing out notes that are so specific or just a little bit too like personal, where the people who are brewing it, like the customers who are brewing it at home, have no reference points. And I think that can be a little bit frustrating and a little bit troublesome. I bring that up because Dune is one of the few roasters that I've consistently tasted where their flavor notes are so spot on. Whenever I talk to my team about flavor notes, I talk a lot about clarity, and clarity to me is, one, the notes are very defined. You know, if it says like peach, you taste peach notes. If it says dark chocolate, you taste those dark chocolate notes. If there's like notes of honey, you definitely taste those notes of honey in that cup of coffee. And Dune hits it. I brewed this coffee as an espresso, and I had it as a cappuccino. My recipe was 18 grams in, took 25 seconds for that brew, and the output was 28 grams out. The notes that came through got really nice cherry notes up front. It had some nice like citrus zest. Kind of more on that like that tangerine side, and the finish was a nice like Earl Grey note. And all these notes are listed on the bag, and they really shine through in the espresso. As a cappuccino, it tasted just super sweet, and it had those like tea latte notes, probably coming from those Earl Grey notes. So overall, just a fantastic coffee. I'm gonna be really excited to brew this as a pour over to see if those notes translate in the cup as well. Now, to kind of touch back on just the tasting notes, one thing that I'm starting to see is it seems like a lot of roasters are finding a little bit more freedom in roasting Ethiopian coffees, and that's super exciting. One reason is because if you've tasted Ethiopian coffees, for a lot of people, that's like their entry point for specialty coffee. And what I mean by that is, for me specifically, like in grad school, I didn't know what specialty coffee was. I drank a lot of Starbucks because I needed the caffeine when I was studying, and I needed a place to study. And they had their like gold card membership, so I was able to get like free refills on my iced coffee. So that was my reference point to coffee. And then my buddy got me into specialty coffee, and I tasted an Ethiopian pour over, and it just like blew my mind. You know, I was getting these like crazy like berry notes, and it was super clean. It didn't taste burnt, didn't taste like charcoal. And you know, for a lot of people, like the flavor notes for an Ethiopian, typically it's like berry, a lot of citrus, super floral, and really nice and delicate. Now roasters, I'm seeing a lot of like chocolate notes coming through, a little bit richer in flavor and like a little bit more depth and complexity. For the most part, like for a lot of like roasters across America, like every Ethiopian coffee like almost tasted the same. So it's really cool now to see just these personal takes on the coffee. So I would say try this one out. You know, I will put the link in the description. You know, hit up Dune if you're in the Santa Barbara area, and I don't think you're gonna be disappointed. They just do an awesome job every time. So now that we've covered the coffee, let's jump into the workout. So this workout, it's the first strength training day in my overall circuit, and for this one I'm gonna really break down like what my like circuit routine looks like. So let's just talk about the exercises that like encompass this workout. So I did a lot of like kettlebell like swings. Since I don't own a kettlebell, I just use a free weight, deadlifts, and a lot of pull-ups. Let's break down the stats. So I did 30 swings, double armed, with a 30-pound weight. I also did 30 reverse lunges, single arm, single side. So reverse lunge into a swing with a 30-pound weight. I did 60 deadlifts at 275 pounds, and I did 120 pull-ups, but I broke that in half, so 60 pull-ups and then 60 chin-ups. Now, I obviously am not able to do all those reps like in one go, so I break it down into either a ladder or a pyramid. So since this was day one of my strength training routine, I broke it down into a ladder. So the first circuit is all 5 reps. So I would do my double arm swings, I would do my pull-ups, I would jump into deadlifts, do my chin-ups, I would hit the reverse lunge swing, back to pull-ups, deadlifts, finish off with chin-ups. So that's like the first circuit. Then I would repeat that whole thing, but then with 10 reps. After I finished that, I would repeat that whole circuit with 15 reps. And that's how I get my final rep count. What I really like about this way of training for myself is that the 5 rep circuit almost acts like a warm up for me. So I'm able to get like really loose, and it allows like all my muscles to kind of be to be ready to be engaged for those higher rep counts. You know, it's also nice because it doesn't like burn out your muscles. You know, I felt like I've done workouts where I just try to do like 10 or 15 reps for every single exercise, and you know, at the end of it, I'm just like thrashed after like maybe 50 reps of like whatever exercise I'm doing. So by breaking up my workout this way, I'm able to hit those higher repetitions, so I get that volume, and I'm also able to, like with my deadlifts, use like a heavier weight. So since this was like the first week, the next week I would break up my workout into a pyramid. So it would be 5 reps of all those exercises, then 10, 15, back down to 10, and then finish off with 5. And then my last week of strength training would be 5, 10, 20, 10, 5. So the reason why I approach my workouts in this way, again, is because it allows me to hit volume, and it also helps me to like not really plateau. Because it's like building up, it forces my body to start with like lower reps for week 1, and then I ramp it up a little bit in week 2, and then week 3, like it's like all out and it's so draining, it's so exhausting, but it helps me to really build strength. And you know, for me, as you all know, pull-ups and deadlifts are really integral in my training, and by approaching these exercises in this way, it allows me to get stronger at them. So working out in this way has been really effective for me in building strength. And you know, I'm the type of person, like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And I like the routine of it. You know, it allows me to not really have to think so much. I'm like, okay, like what exercise is next? I can just kind of flow into it, and I'm able to hit like all the muscle groups that I want. So again, thanks again for watching this video. Thanks for making it to the end. I'll catch you all later.